to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be a collab. I'm collabing with Andi from Andi Does Stuff. She is one of my dearest friends here on YouTube. I just adore her. She is so funny, so beautiful, so talented. I want her hair. I'm trying to figure out a way to somehow get her hair off of her head and onto mine. I've been trying to plot and scheme something for several months now, and I just haven't come up with anything yet. I will have Andi Does Stuff's channel linked in my description box. If you guys are not familiar with Andi, you need to become familiar with her right away. Go to her channel, subscribe, and watch her videos. She is just amazing. I love her content. And we were talking a while ago and wanting to do another collab together. And I'm pretty sure that she hasn't used this palette either. I hadn't used this palette before today. I can't believe it, but it's the Juvia's Place Violets palette. Yes, I know, haven't used this. Well, I mean, I have now, but I hadn't used this before filming this video today. And this is just a gorgeous purple color story. And I think after using this, this might be my favorite purple monochromatic palette in my collection. I'm such a huge fan of Juvia's Place. I have been since I got the very first palette I ever purchased from them. I have loved them ever since. I love their shimmers, their mattes, everything. I love their packaging. I just love the brand. And so yes, we will be using this palette today to create our looks. So if you guys are interested in seeing my video, creating a look with the Juvia's Place Violets palette for my collab with Andi from Andi Does Stuff, then please sit back, relax, and let's get started. All right, let's get started with this look using the Juvia's Place Violets palette for my collab with Andi Does Stuff. All of my face makeup is on, my brows are done, and my eyelid is primed in the Queen Nubia Cosmetics eyeshadow base. I love it. And before I get started with my eye look, I did want to talk to you briefly about the blush that I have on today. This is the Planet Revolution Cream Blush in the shade Sweet Rose. Steph, not your basic Steph, my beautiful soul sister and mentor, she sent this to me for Christmas, and it's got a really nice light rose scent. And I just think it's a beautiful cream blush. She knew I wanted to try some like cream products, and so she sent this to me for Christmas, and I love it. It's so fun using this today. Okay, so now let's get busy. Let's get into the eye look. All right, this is the palette. I'm gonna be using this shade here, this like light purple matte in my transition area. And then I wanna use like a combination of these like satiny shimmers on the lid as well. And then I definitely wanna use this dark purple matte, but I think I'm gonna use it as a liner today. So let's get started with the look. I'm gonna start with the purple matte, the light purple matte, and just put that down, like I said, in my transition area. And I cannot believe I have not used this palette yet. It's ridiculous. I've had this in my box of shame for, I don't know, a few months, a couple months at least. And I just love Juvia's Place eyeshadows so much. And I have several of these monochromatic palettes, so it's just kind of stupid that I haven't used it yet. And I'm pretty sure Andi said that she hadn't used this either. I think that's why we decided to use this palette together today. And today is Sunday. I've been having a pretty good weekend, although yesterday something kind of weird happened on my YouTube channel. And this is a very nice purple matte. It's doing its job. It's blending out nicely, and it's very pretty. I got like, I don't know, 8 or 9 subscribers yesterday, which, you know, isn't typical. I mean, I'll get a couple here and a couple there, but I usually don't get that many in like one day usually. And I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of cool, you know, fun. And I noticed that several of the people that subscribed to me had their own channels, and I felt like kind of a ding dong because I do follow these people on Instagram, and I just didn't know that they had channels. So I was like, oh, this is great. You know, I can go subscribe to them and watch their videos because I really want to support like, you know, smaller channels. I mean, I have a small channel too, and it's just important to me to like, you know, show support to smaller channels because I really am enjoying the smaller channels lately. I don't know, I just really like their content, and I love the creators, and it's just really fun. And we've kind of formed this really cool group community with one another. So I always want to show them my support. So anyway, I go on to their channels to watch their videos, and I commented on their videos, and my comment disappeared. I was like, what happened, you know? So I went back and commented again. They were probably thinking, okay, I got it the first time around, but I mean, I don't know if they saw the comment or not because it was just gone. So then this morning when I got up, I went onto my channel just to kind of, I don't know, see what was happening. And I had lost 6 subscribers, which, I mean, that happens. I mean, you gain some, you lose some, that's fine. But I don't think I've ever lost, not like that's a ton, but I mean, I don't think I've ever lost more than like 1 or 2 in a day like that. So I thought, well, that's weird. Like I gained 8 or 9 and I lost 6, just kind of strange. And then Friday, I had uploaded a video onto my channel, and I had checked my comment section that I hadn't responded to, you know, and it said I didn't have any. So great. So then yesterday I checked it again just to see, or no, this morning I checked it again, and there was like all these comments that I hadn't responded to from days ago, but I just checked it on Friday. I don't get what's going on. It's really weird. Okay, now I'm gonna go into, I think this one here, this kind of darker satin. I'm gonna put that down in my outer V. I'm using a little bit of a fluffier brush to kind of help that blend a little bit better, hopefully. And I love that purple matte, that's gorgeous. I love purple eyeshadows. That's another reason why I couldn't figure out why I had not used the Violets palette, because I love purple eyeshadows. And then my husband and I have been kind of lazy this weekend. It's been nice. Yesterday we watched the 3rd season of a show on Netflix called Afterlife. If you haven't watched it, it's really good. Ricky Gervais is like a British comedic actor, and he's kind of the main star of the show, the series. And this was the 3rd season. I don't think they're going to have another one based on the ending of this last season, which kind of bums me out. But it's basically based on him. He's, like I said, the main character, and his wife has passed away from cancer. And it's just kind of his way of, it's just kind of showing how he's getting through that, like the grieving process. And like initially it starts off and he's like, you know, basically suicidal. It's pretty intense. But you know, he is a comedic actor, so he's just hilarious. And there's other actors and actresses that are so funny in that show. It's so great. And you know, you cry, you laugh. It's just a really good show. And there's quite a bit of crude humor, which that doesn't bother me. I think it's really funny, but I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. But yeah, it's a great show. So I highly recommend that. And then we also watched the 2nd season of a show on Netflix called Cheer. It's about these cheerleaders at a junior college in Texas, and it's pretty intense. It's very dramatic. I think I'm gonna go into this shade here and put that down next to that, because I think what I'm gonna do is put that down towards the front of my lid and then use that in the inner corner. But that would be pretty. So let's put that down next to this here. Ooh, that's pretty. And it's just lighter enough that it does have a little bit of a shade difference, which I like that. I kind of want to have like a really pretty gradient across the lid. But yeah, the cheerleading show gets a little bit ugh. And my husband is not like really into cheerleading, but he does humor me sometimes and we'll watch stuff that just I want to watch. And actually he got pretty into it too, because some of the kids that are on that in the program on the teams are so athletic. I mean, the way they can tumble and flip and flop, it's like, geez. I mean, there's no way I could ever do that, ever. I mean, I was on dance team in high school, but tumbling was never my strong suit, ever. It took me forever to even get down into the splits. And there's some, you know, kind of intense subject matter in this last season. I was like, whoa, I don't want to give anything away if you haven't watched it, if you're interested. But yeah, pretty intense. And, you know, just how competitive they all are and how it's like a total way of life for them. And that is gorgeous. I love it. I am getting a little bit of fallout on my face, but I'll clean that up. And now I am going to go into that lighter shimmer and put that down towards the front. And actually, I'm going to switch brushes because I don't think I want to use that one. I'm going to use this one instead. This is just a little brush I got off AliExpress, and I am going to go into this shade here. I really like my AliExpress brushes because they're really cheap, but they work really well. And I think I am going to spray this too, just to make sure it looks a lot more metallic on the lid. But some of the kids that are on that show, ooh, that's pretty. Some of the kids that are on that cheer show, you know, they just kind of come from, you know, broken homes, and they don't really have like a really good like sense of family. Oh, that's so pretty. Ooh, I love it. And so, you know, this team really provides them with that, you know. But yeah, some of the stuff that goes on, like the coaches are so intense. I'm like, breathe, it'll be okay. It's just cheerleading. But you know, to them, it's super important. And then I did find out, I saw a little blurb on Netflix that another season of Ozark is going to be starting on January 21st. And if you guys have never watched Ozark, I highly recommend it. It's Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. They're like the main actors. And they're a married couple, and he's an accountant. And they get kind of sucked into this Mexican cartel and like laundering drug money for them. It's very good, very intense. And, you know, Jason Bateman's funny. I just love him. I think he's such a great actor. So I'm so excited for that to start again. I cannot wait. I was like, oh my gosh, Ozark, yay, because it hasn't been on for a long time. and I was hoping they would do another season. And I'm really hoping that at some point they will do another season of the show Mindhunter on Netflix. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show. It is so good. And then we also watch another show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom, which is so good. And I'm thinking they're going to be having another season of that soon too, I hope. It's kind of like set back in the medieval time, and the main character, his name is Uhtred. He's cute, very cute. He is like a Dane, but he was like captured by this like British royalty when he's younger, so he's kind of like a slave for the Brits, but then he actually they end up like loving him, and he grows up and like kind of has to figure out if he's going to fight for the Brits or the Danes. I mean, it's just a really interesting show, and he's pretty cute. And I cannot wait to see what Andi does with this palette. She creates such beautiful eye looks, and she has had some really fun videos on her channel lately. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Andi. You should be. Shame on you. Go and subscribe to her channel right now. Go, and then come back and finish watching. She just has such fun videos on her channel. She's got the best personality. She's really funny, and she's beautiful, and I really like her taste in makeup. We have very similar tastes in makeup. Now I'm going to do my lower waterline, and this is the Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Fixed on Plum, and I love these. I showed these in my last video where I talked about my 3 favorite makeup products by category. These are lovely, and I'm sure you can hear the heat kicking on, and I'm sorry. I do have the vent shut, but even with the vent shut, you can still hear that. It's really obnoxious, but it is freezing outside. And when you turn the heat off in here, it gets cold immediately. Now I'm gonna go back into the palette, and I'm gonna line my eyes with this shade here, this dark purple matte. Ooh, lovely. And I may regret not putting this on my actual lid, but I think it's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna start off with my lower lash line here first, and then do my upper lash line as well, or my upper lid near my lashes. And this is a beautifully pigmented palette. I mean, you know, you cannot go wrong with the Juvia's Place palette. I don't think I have any Juvia's Place palettes that I don't like. I mean, really, I don't. They're all so lovely, and I love their shimmer formula, and their mattes are gorgeous. I mean, this is just going on so beautifully. And the thing I found out too about Netflix that I'm not real thrilled about is that the price is going up again. It was like $13.99 a month, and now it's $17.99 a month, and then it's going up to like, I don't know, 20 something. My husband told me that, and I'm like, what? I'm such a cheapskate. I hate that. We did end up getting rid of our cable. We have like Comcast cable here, which is just astronomical in price. It's ridiculous. Like if you want all of the channels, which I never watched anyway, it's like, I don't know, $200 a month. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $200 a month to watch TV. Like I said, I'm pretty cheapskate. And this is gorgeous. This is so pretty. Oh, I love how that looks. And I love purple eye looks. They're one of my faves. Greens and purples. So I don't think I'm gonna get rid of my Netflix, but I don't know. We have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, we have Hulu, no cable. But that seems to work pretty well. Oh, another thing my husband and I just watched that we loved was The Masked Dancer. We watched The Masked Singer, love that show. I always try to figure out who the person is, and every once in a while, I get it. But lots of times I don't. And then with The Masked Dancer, there's just no way. I had no idea who half these people were. I mean, or any of them really, but it was so much fun to see who they were when they took their masks off. That was great. Great, great, great. Okay, I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna do my inner corner highlight, and I'm gonna use this shade here. It's kind of a pinky purple. I swatched these before I got started just to kind of see what I was thinking about doing, and it's really pretty. Let's go ahead and put that in the inner corner. Gorgeous, I love it. So I think they only have 1 season of The Masked Dancer so far, but I'm really hoping that they'll do it again. Ugh. Love it. I mentioned this before. I was in dance team in high school, and so I love dance type shows. They had like the America's Best Dance Crew on MTV. That was one of my favorites. Oh, and then they had like, what was the one with Jennifer Lopez and Neo were the judges? Was that like World's Best Dancer or something? Oh, I love that show. I hope that comes back on, because you know those kind of shows, even if you don't have cable, you can typically pick those up on Hulu. And I'm really hoping, oh, and America's, what was it called? It was on Fox, like Next Best Dancer. I can't remember. Man, that show was so much fun. Oh, okay. I love how this looks. I think it's gorgeous. I think I'm pretty much finished with my eye look. So what I'm gonna do is go off camera, clean up a little bit of this fallout, do the other eye, add the finishing touches, and I'll come back and show you how everything came together. So don't go anywhere. This is the finished look. I love how this look turned out, and I love this palette. I cannot believe it's taken me this long to use the Violets palette from Juvia's Place. It's insane. I've had it sitting in my box of shame, but the good news is I got it out, I used it today, and I loved it. So again, this is the Violets from Juvia's Place. I used every single shade in this palette for this look. Started off with this shade here, this light purple matte in my transition area, and then I used a combination of these three kind of satiny shimmers on the lid. I used this shade here in my inner corner, and I lined my eyes with the dark purple matte. I love the mattes, I love the shimmers, I love Juvia's Place palettes. They have such wonderful quality. I especially love their shimmers, but this one, I don't know, these might be my favorite mattes I've ever tried from Juvia's Place. They just went on so beautifully, they blended out beautifully. I just really enjoyed using this. And I have several of these monochromatic palettes. They're all wonderful. There's a couple more I still need to get, not that I need them, but I want them. And I'm just glad I finally got this out and used it today. I did want to go over a couple things quickly with you guys that I used in my finished look today. For my mascara, I used the Mekka Banger mascara. This was sent to me from my friend Linda off Instagram from Sweden. I love this mascara. The wand is really nice. It's got a really good formula and I really enjoy it. And for my lips, I use the Ofra Flexi Stick Liquid Lipstick in the shade Velour. Steph, not your basic Steph, my beautiful friend, soul sister, and mentor, she sent this to me from the UK. I really like the color. I just thought it would look nice with the eye look, and the formula is really nice. It's very comfortable, and you don't really even notice it on the lips, and I just think it looks really pretty. I cannot wait to see Andi's look with this palette. I hope she loves this palette just as much as I did. I will have Andi's channel, Andi Does Stuff, linked in my description box. Please go to her channel and subscribe and binge watch her videos. She is so fun to watch, so beautiful, so talented, and she has the best sense of humor and the best taste in makeup and the best hair. I'm so glad we were able to collab again, and I hope we do this many, many more times throughout our YouTube journey together. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It always means the world to me. If you have subscribed or you would like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take care of yourself, be well, safe, happy, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks again, you guys. Take care. Bye.